killed my mother.
Those not collected were worthless.
She was everything to me.
Begin.
Learning a new fighting game can be a daunting task. With games in the genre getting more and more advanced, players are required to learn new mechanics, as well as mastering a wide variety of characters these games have to offer. In this series of Pure Basics, we hope to provide a beginner's guide to the heroes and villains of Injustice 2. And in this episode, we're going to take a look at the girl who can punch above her weight, Supergirl. Kara Zor-El is the cousin of Superman. Prior to the destruction of Krypton, she lived in Argo City. However, as Brainiac destroyed Krypton, her parents were able to stow her in a ship similar to how Superman escaped Krypton. She, along with Superman, Kal-El, were both heading towards Earth. However, her ship was knocked off course. She was intended to protect Kal, but as a result, due to hypersleep, she arrived after Kal had grown into Superman. She did eventually arrive on Earth. In Injustice 2, she is being trained by both Black Adam and Wonder Woman, and waiting for the opportunity to free her cousin Superman. However, she soon learns that things are not all they seem. Now in Injustice 2, Supergirl is a fairly balanced character. She has answers for pretty much anything. Whilst she has a lot of mix-up and zoning options, her biggest downside is that her combos don't hit very hard. But anyway, let's get into the basic moves and abilities Supergirl has in her arsenal. Of course, she comes with all the moves that all the heroes and villains have in Injustice 2. She has a wall bounce, which is done with back and free. She has an overhead, which is done with forward and free. Her jumping attacks as well are as follows. Her jumping 1 is a straight kick. It's actually very useful in landing this before following it up into another combo, or special move if desired. There's jumping 2, again you can follow into combos afterwards. And then there's the Crisis Slam, which is jump and a free, which knocks her opponents to the floor. Of course, she has her throws performed with 1 and 3, or whichever button you've assigned it to. But moving away from standard stuff and looking at her special moves. Her first special move is Rising Sun Strike, which is done by pressing down back 1. It's an uppercut that is done pretty much on the spot. It's a good anti-air and can even be meter burned. If you meter burn it, Supergirl will remain airborne. This can confuse some opponents, especially if you use the meter burn thing, and follow it up with other moves and abilities. You can even use it mid-combo if you want, but it's hard to do and probably best used in the corner. Her next special move is Super Hover. This is done by performing down back 1 while airborne. This allows her to stay in the air, after which a wide variety of options are available to you, such as using your trait or other special moves. When airborne, you can stay in the hover position for longer if you hold down 1. Her next special move is Frost Breath. This is done by pressing down forward 2. You can also extend the Frost Breath if you hold 2. You can meter burn Frost Breath as well. Meter burning it will completely freeze your opponent if they're unable to block it. A frozen target will be frozen in place for a few seconds, giving you ample time to follow it up with a combo or another special move. Her next special move is Spaceport. This is done by pressing down back 2. This will teleport Supergirl instantly into the air behind your opponent. It is fairly unsafe though, so if your opponent is blocking, they can quickly follow up with an attack of their own. You can meter burn Spaceport, which will turn the ability into an overhead, causing a slight bounce. The bounce means that you can follow up with your own attacks or combos. You can also perform Spaceport in the air if you so desire. Just press down back 2 whilst you're airborne. Same goes for the meter burn version of it as well. Her next special move is Kryptonian Force, which is done by pressing back forward 3. But again, it's fairly unsafe on block, meaning that the enemy can follow it up with an attack. You can add this to the end of combos if you want as well. And you can even meter burn the ability. Meter burning the ability will cause the Kryptonian Force to send out a whirlwind that will cause enemies to float, giving you ample time to follow up with an attack of your own. Her next special ability is Power Slap. Once you knock an opponent into the air, if you press down and throw, then you will slam your opponent into the ground. Power Slam can be very useful for finishing off combos or for countering airborne opponents. Supergirl also has the bonus of dashing while airborne. So while you jump, if you press back or forward, she can dash while airborne. This can help close the gap on opponents, especially if they're zoning characters. Now moving on to the bread and butter combos available to Supergirl. The first is Power Struggle, which is done by pressing 112. This combo can be followed up with pretty much any special move afterwards. The next combo is Elseworld's Finest, which is done by pressing 2-2 up and free. This sends your opponent into the air, but leaves you little time to act afterwards. It's better used in the corner. The next combo is called Hell and Farewell, which is a combo that I often use to start up combos. It's done by pressing back 1-2. This means you can easily follow up with a special move of your own to pull off the longer combos. The next combo is the Last Daughter of Krypton, which is done by pressing back 1-2-3. This pretty much follows up the combo Hell and Farewell, and it's helpful as it pushes your opponent across the map. The next combo is Crossroads of Time, which is done by pressing 2-1-2. The next combo is Ariel or Rel, and it's done by pressing 2-1-2-1-2-1. It's a nice long combo string, although it does require fine timing, but if you're able to land it at the end of a combo, it's a nice finisher. The next combo is Matrix, which is done by pressing back 2 then throw. It's a thrown combo that is not only a good finisher, but it can also be meter burned. Meter burning it will cause your opponent to bounce back up into the air. Once they bounce back up into the air, they can be comboed for further damage. The next combo is Girl Still, and it's done by pressing forward 2-3. This is a great free hit combo that launches your opponents into the air. You can even follow this up with Power Slam, which is down and throw after the last hit. And the final bread and butter combo is forward 2-3-1, which is an extension of the Girl Still. Supergirl's trait is the Kryptonian Lasers. Pressing 4 will cause Supergirl to fire out a straight laser from her eyes. You can see as well down the bottom that you have limited use of the lasers as they are dictated by a resource bar. However, the lasers can be used in various ways. For example, if you press down and 4, the lasers will shoot towards your opponent's feet. You can also press down left and 4, which will shoot the lasers at the floor closer to you. Or you can press back and 4, which will cause the lasers to shoot upwards. This is a great anti-air and it's quite quick to cast. You can also perform all of these while airborne. And you even get an added bonus of being able to fire the lasers by pressing up and 4, which can only be done in the air. You can hold this down and it will drain the meter. Finally, you can meter burn the Kryptonian Lasers if you so desire. This is a really flashy move that will knock your opponent pretty much across to the other end of the map. However, by doing so, it will deplete all of the meter, and if you should miss the meter burn Kryptonian Laser, then you'll be open for enemy attack. However, I really like the animation on the Kryptonian Lasers when they are meter burned, and I often find myself using them in combos as finishers. Now moving away and talking about some of the longer combos. Like I said, most combos start with either back 1-2 or 1-1-2. Afterwards you follow it up with your Frost Breath, which can then be meter burned, and that will freeze the target in place. Then you follow it up with a Wall Bounce, Jump in 2, and then whatever you want as a finisher. Normally I will finish with either the meter burn eye lasers, the forward 2-3 air slam, or the forward 2-3-1. So the combo will look something like this. Of course, you can spice things up a little bit, especially if you catch an opponent unaware by adding other moves like, for example, the Spaceport or Matrix combo. Take note that both of these have to be meter burned. For example, with the Spaceport, you do your opener, Spaceport, meter burn, and then continue the combo. Supergirl's combos in the corner are pretty much the same, however, instead of using the wall bounce, instead use the overhead. Supergirl's super move is the asteroid shower. Pressing flip stance, a meter burn will cause her to cast her super ability. This is quite a close range move and it's best done mid-combo. This will guarantee that the super move at least hits. Overall, Supergirl is a very versatile character with a lot of answers. As I said at the start of the video, she is a little bit of a jack of all trades. She is able to cross up, zone, as well as rush down opponents. However, her damage output is a little bit questionable at times. Even her longer combos are not as damaging as some of the other cast on the roster. But that doesn't mean she's bad by any means, because in the right hands, she can be a force to be reckoned with. So I hope that this guide has given you a better understanding of Supergirl. As well as helping you, these videos are also helping us in understanding the characters of the game. Of course, there are more advanced guides out there, and if you're at all interested in Supergirl, I encourage you to go check them out. Anyway, I hope you found this guide helpful, and until next time, I've been Darcblade, bringing you a pure basics guide to Supergirl in Injustice 2. Hope you enjoyed the video, thanks for watching, subscribe and like for more.